playoffs or not.
Hello, boys and girls. It's the first episode of Two Guy Tuesdays. This is Dad Songer.
And this is Caleb Songer.
And we are going to discuss 4 topics with you, and we're going to do this every Tuesday. So I'm wearing my boy, Brett, wearing his shirt today in honor of his awesomeness. And our first down topic, is, can Carolina go undefeated? Caleb, what do you think?
They will not go undefeated. And this is why. Golden State lost to Milwaukee yesterday, as we all know. And why did they lose to Milwaukee? Well, we weren't expecting them to lose to Milwaukee. That would be the same thing same reason why Carolina loses to Tampa Bay in the last week of the season.
I totally agree with you. I think we saw Green Bay go 13-0 back in 2011, and they lost to a Kansas City team, which I believe was something like 5-8. So, and just like you said, it's when you least expect it. Now, I would tell you this: next week they play the Giants. I think the Giants can win that game. I'm not telling you they are going to win that game, but I think they can win that game. And then they still have to play, if I got this right, Atlanta and then Tampa Bay. You don't see them losing to those two teams. They've beaten both those teams, but like you just said, I think it can happen. So it's very hard to go 16-0. It's only happened once. And I just don't see it happening. I think Carolina's going to trip up. They might rest some starters. Any one of those things could cause them to lose. Second down, we're going to talk about the AFC playoff picture. Caleb, you want to start, or you want me to start with my AFC?
You can start.
Well, I'll start by saying this. There's obviously three teams at the top. I think New England's the best team. They're going to get the 1. I think Denver's the 2. And then without Dalton, Cincinnati is going to fall to that 3. I think Cincinnati will hold on. I think they'll hold off Pittsburgh to win that division. But I do think Pittsburgh gets in. I think Kansas City also gets in. Those are my 2 wild cards. Jets, they're the Jets. I just don't. I don't see their dynamicness come out at this time of year. I don't think they're ready for this step. Kansas City's hot. Pittsburgh's a great team. They get in. As far as the AFC South, it's a bad division. It's a very bad division, and I think it comes down to who wins this week. Colts against Houston. Whoever wins that game will win that division.
Well, I totally agree with you with the rest of the AFC, but the AFC South is much more entertaining than you think. It's not just going to come down to tomorrow's game. I do think that will be a very intriguing game. But watch out for Jacksonville. They just beat the Colts. They looked really good. It may be because the Colts had a terrible defense. But it cannot be just that.
Well, I'm not saying it's not entertaining. It's just they're bad. Those are bad teams. They're all bad. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, but
they're crummy teams.
Jacksonville, they have matchups against the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints, both teams who have bad defenses, and then the Houston Texans. If they can beat the Houston Texans, they probably could beat those 2 other teams, and then they end up going possibly 8-8.
Here's the problem I see with Jacksonville. This is a team that was predicted by many to be the worst team in the league. This is not a good team. This is a team with a young quarterback, a lot of young players. They have a pretty decent offense, but I just don't see this team in crunch time when it's cold, end of the season, everything's on the line, stepping up. And let's face it, they're also a game behind the leaders, even though the leaders are not good either. I mean, we could talk about how bad the other 2 teams are. I mean, the Colts and Texans, they're like on 3rd-string quarterbacks. So your guess is as good as mine, Caleb. I don't know.
Now we will talk about our third topic. We'll switch to the other conference, the NFC.
You want to go first this time? I went first last time.
I had Carolina going to that 1 seed. Will they go undefeated? I don't know, but... And then I have Arizona as that 2 seed. They're very good. I think they probably will go undefeated. The Green Bay game, I think they'll beat them. The Seattle game's kind of hard. Well, undefeated the rest of the way. And then in the NFC North, that probably will come down to the last game. I think Green Bay will win. And then the NFC East is probably the most entertaining division in that, in terms that every team is still in it. Even Dallas, who's 4-9 and 2 games back, but still, if Matt Castle can pull it together and he can actually find Des Bryant, then they could still shake it up in that division.
Well, I'll tell you what. We have the same situation here. We have another really crummy division, and it's really the one thing that is a mystery left in the NFC. Everything else pretty much decided. But I agree. The NFC East, it's really up for grabs. I have no faith in the Washington Redskins. I just have absolutely no faith in them. Call it their history, call it not having a great starting quarterback. I just don't see them winning it. But again, it's the same thing as the AFC South. I mean, it's very easy to argue against the Eagles with the Giants having a chance. I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I think their schedule is maybe the easiest of the three, but I could see the Giants easily win it. But I don't see the Redskins winning it. I will tell you this. I'm pretty sure you and I are agreeing. Carolina 1, Arizona 2, Green Bay 3. I think Green Bay does beat Minnesota and drops Minnesota to that 6. Seattle gets that wild card. But check this out. If the Eagles beat the Cardinals next week, which I think could happen, then the Packers go into Arizona, and they would just need to beat Arizona, and then they are tied going into the last week with Green Bay as the tiebreaker. And if the Arizona Cardinals lose to both the Eagles and then the Packers, and Seattle wins both those games, that sets up a showdown in the last week between Seattle and Arizona, where the Seahawks could still win that division and could still feasibly get a 2 seed and a first-round bye and drop the Cardinals down to 6. Just throwing that out there. It could all happen. So let's not get all set in that Arizona's the 2, Seattle's the wild card, Green Bay is the 3. There's all sorts of scenarios still out there.
We'll move on to our 4th topic.
You don't have anything to add to that?
No.
You agree with all that?
Yep.
Wow. I've raised you right. What's our 4th topic, Caleb?
Our 4th topic is the historical upset on Saturday when the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Golden State Warriors. You can go over this.
Well, it's funny, when I was watching that game, I was thinking, well, the Bucks are going to crash. It's inevitable. They've been having that kind of season. And then I started thinking, as they were still winning in the 4th quarter, I'm thinking, sure, the Bucks have been disappointing me all year long. And so, like, the one thing that's excited me about the NBA this year is Golden State's start. So not only have the Bucks disappointed me all year, now they're going to disappoint me by actually winning. By winning! Because they're ruining Golden State's start. And so I started feeling that way. But then at the end, I came back around. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. The Milwaukee Bucks just ended this long winning streak. So good for the Bucks. What do you think? You think Golden State's got a chance to win 72 games and tie or even break that record?
Well, they have to have a chance. I mean, any team with a great player like that and explosive offense has a chance to break Michael Jordan's record.
What do you think about the Milwaukee Bucks? Is this going to be a turnaround the season kind of win for them?
Well, it's a long season, so this is not going to lead to like a 40-game winning streak of their own to like take number 1 in the East. But this could lead to a few more games winning, and then maybe an up and down season they've already been having.
And check this out. That loss by Golden State, they win all of these games. They win 24 straight games. They lose 1, and now look at the standings. They are only 4 games ahead of the San Antonio Spurs for first place. The Spurs have quietly, as they always do year in and year out, they've stayed right in the mix. Do you think Golden State's going to get the 1 seed?
Yeah, but it's way too early to talk about that now.
It is. It is pretty early. Football's not even over.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we all know, the NBA Finals won't even hit until school's out, and it's like 80 degrees outside. Well, I think we've run out of downs. It's time to punt. Anything to add? Any good words of wisdom for our crowd?
No.
There you have it. you can always get great words of wisdom from my son, Caleb Songer. No. All right. Well, with that, we're going to sign off. This was our first edition of Two Guy Tuesdays. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you join us again for next week's episode. Have a great day.
And go Packers!